Rumi, Mira, and Zoe may seem like the perfect trio, but what if their story was never meant to end with just 3 members? Behind the dazzling performances and demon-slaying action, hidden clues suggest that Huntrix is destined to expand. Today, we're uncovering 10 compelling hints that point toward the arrival of a 4th Huntrix member in Kpop Demon Hunters 2. Rumi's past holds the first clue. Rumi's backstory remains one of the most incomplete parts of the film. There are hints of missing details surrounding her birth and early life. Fans have pointed out inconsistencies in flashbacks, suggesting more than one child may have been involved. Every revelation about her family doesn't just explain the past, it pushes the present forward. It unlocks abilities, triggers reactions, and draws attention from forces that were dormant until now. And suddenly, what she thought was personal becomes larger than her. Bloodlines don't exist in isolation. They connect to systems, to rivalries, to histories that don't just fade away. And if her lineage is tied to both human and something darker, then she isn't just part of the conflict. She might be the center of it, which raises the stakes for everything that comes next. Every choice she makes isn't just about survival or loyalty anymore, it's about legacy, about whether she continues what came before or breaks it entirely. If that's true, then the idea of a hidden sibling isn't random, it's built into the story. And that missing piece could be the first step toward expanding Huntrix beyond 3. That raises a question the film never truly answers. Why do we believe that Myung is dead in the first place? The only reason anyone believes that version of events is because Celine said so, and her word was accepted without hesitation or doubt. There was no evidence shown, no moment of confirmation, no body, no farewell, just a statement that quietly became the truth everyone built around. Unresolved tension between Rumi and Mira. Subtle emotional friction between Rumi and Mira adds another layer to the theory. Throughout the film, Mira's reactions toward Rumi occasionally hint at underlying rivalry and unspoken jealousy. While never fully explored, this tension suggests narrative threads that were intentionally left unresolved. Introducing a 4th member could serve as a stabilizing force within the group, redistributing leadership dynamics and easing interpersonal conflicts. In storytelling, new characters often act as catalysts for emotional balance, making this a compelling narrative justification for expansion. The team was fractured and emotionally unfit to face any threat, and the old order almost didn't survive. Sequels are designed to incorporate change, and with a steady hand, this franchise is ready to adapt to a universe with more than one under-resourced team tasked with defending against the forces of evil. The idea behind Huntrix has always been more than just one under-resourced team. The idea behind Huntrix is a tradition and a system with a legacy, and where systems and legacies exist, they can always be replaced. The 4 guardians of Korean mythology. Perhaps the most convincing evidence lies in Korean mythology. The visual identities of the 3 Huntresses align closely with the 4 symbolic beasts. White Tiger West, represented by Rumi's white aesthetic and fierce leadership, Azure Dragon East, reflected in Zoe's turquoise palette and fluid combat style, Black Tortoise North, mirrored in Mira's dark tones and defensive strength, Vermilion Bird South, not yet represented. The absence of the Vermilion Bird, often associated with rebirth and fire, strongly implies that a 4th Huntress is meant to complete this mythological framework. Such symbolic storytelling is a hallmark of animated narratives, making this clue particularly compelling. 4th Huntrix will create competition and rival teams without having to use the same old demon structure for the rivals. New Huntrix will also be able to mirror the internal conflict of Mira because of the internal conflict. The team also needs to be able to deal with the team of people, which makes the internal conflict of the team a large deal. If Mira is struggling with the internal conflict and possible demon identity, then when this team is coming from a place of darker emotions, it creates a strong need for the team to be able to deal with the team. The people will create a large external need for the team to be able to deal with. The unpaired Saja Boy. The Saja Boys appear to be intentionally structured as narrative counterparts to the Huntresses. Each existing Huntrix member shares thematic or emotional connections with specific Saja Boys. However, one member, Romance, remains without a clear counterpart among the Huntress girls, and this absence feels far too intentional to be a coincidence. In a story where every character appears to be carefully paired or mirrored, his lack of a connection immediately stands out. While Rumi shares a deep emotional bond with Ju, Mira is subtly linked to Abby, and Zoe is entangled in a dynamic involving mystery and baby. Romance is left without a narrative anchor. This deliberate imbalance hints that the story is reserving space for someone who is yet to be introduced. This gap strongly suggests that another Huntress may be waiting in the wings, ready to step into the narrative and restore symmetry between the two groups. In ensemble storytelling, especially within team-based dynamics, balance is essential for both emotional resonance and plot cohesion. Each pairing not only enhances character development, but also deepens the stakes of the conflict between the opposing sides. Introducing a new Huntress connected to romance would complete this structural harmony, enriching the relationships and expanding the emotional depth of the story. Storytelling often relies on mirrored character dynamics to create a sense of unity and thematic coherence. These parallels allow audiences to draw connections between characters, highlighting similarities and contrasts that drive the narrative forward. By aligning members of Huntrix with the Saja Boys, the creators establish a framework where each relationship reflects broader themes such as loyalty, identity, redemption, and destiny. The absence of a counterpart for romance disrupts this pattern, subtly signaling that the narrative is not yet complete. All of this reinforces the idea that the fourth Huntress has been part of the narrative blueprint from the very beginning. Rather than being a last-minute addition, her introduction would serve as the fulfillment of long-planted narrative seeds, bringing balance to both the character dynamics and the overarching story. This kind of carefully planned expansion not only satisfies audience expectations, but also enhances the richness of the fictional world, making the eventual reveal feel both surprising and inevitable. The foreign idol archetype. In many K-pop groups, one member often represents international diversity, helping the group resonate with a global audience. This archetype is notably absent from Huntrix. The potential addition of a foreign Huntress would not only reflect real-world industry trends, but also expand the story's cultural scope. Given the symbolic association of the Vermilion Bird with the South, some fans speculate that the new member could hail from Southeast Asia, reinforcing the franchise's global appeal while enriching its narrative diversity. The missing vocal harmony. The harmonic structure leaves space for an additional vocal layer, creating the impression of an absent voice. In musical storytelling, such intentional gaps often serve as powerful foreshadowing tools, hinting at developments that have yet to unfold within the narrative. When composers and producers design a song, every harmony, vocal layer, and instrumental choice is carefully planned to support the story being told. If a piece of music feels like it's missing a voice or lacks the fullness typically associated with a complete ensemble, it is rarely accidental. Instead, this absence can function as a subtle narrative device, signaling that the story itself is not yet complete. This kind of auditory omission encourages attentive listeners to sense that something or someone is missing. In the context of a group like Huntrix, a harmonic structure that resembles a quartet rather than a trio suggests deliberate planning by the creators. The interplay between high, mid, and low vocal ranges may leave space for an additional tone that would naturally complete the arrangement. Such musical negative space not only enhances the emotional texture of the song, but also mirrors the narrative theme of incompleteness, reinforcing the expectation of a future addition to the team. Moreover, music in film and television often acts as an extension of character and plot development. A missing harmony can symbolize an unfulfilled destiny, an unseen ally, or a character waiting to emerge at the right moment in the story. By embedding this clue within the soundtrack, the creators provide an elegant form of foreshadowing that operates on a subconscious level. Even viewers who may not consciously identify the musical gap can still feel that the group's sound lacks finality, subtly preparing them for the introduction of a new member. This subtle auditory clue strongly suggests that the group's sound was designed with a fourth member in mind from the outset. Rather than being an afterthought, the potential new character appears to be woven into the very fabric of the film's musical identity. When this member is eventually introduced, the completion of the harmony would not only enrich the group's sonic presence, but also deliver a satisfying narrative payoff, affirming that the creators had envisioned this expansion from the very beginning. Elemental imbalance. Each Huntress embodies a symbolic natural element. Rumi, fire, passionate and impulsive. Zoe, water, adaptable and fluid. Mira, earth, strong and protective. The absence of air or spirit disrupts the elemental balance commonly found in mythological narratives. In many cultural traditions, the harmony of the natural world is represented through a set of core elements, typically fire, water, earth, and air or spirit, each symbolizing different aspects of existence and human experience. When one of these elements is missing, the narrative inherently feels incomplete, creating a subtle sense of imbalance that audiences can intuitively perceive. This deliberate omission often serves as a storytelling device, signaling that the journey toward wholeness is still unfolding. Within the context of the Huntrix team, the existing members already embody three of these essential elements. Rumi represents fire, characterized by passion, intensity, and emotional depth. Zoe reflects water, symbolizing adaptability, intuition, and fluidity, while Mira embodies earth, representing strength, resilience, and protection. The absence of air or spirit leaves a thematic gap, suggesting that the group has not yet reached its full potential. This imbalance not only affects the team's symbolic unity but also hints at a larger narrative destiny waiting to be fulfilled. Introducing a fourth member associated with the missing element would seamlessly complete this elemental framework. Air is often linked to intellect, freedom, foresight, and communication, while spirit represents transcendence, unity, and the connection between realms. A character embodying either of these qualities could bring new abilities and perspectives to the team, enhancing both their strategic dynamics and emotional cohesion. Such an addition would not merely expand the roster, but would also deepen the symbolic resonance of the story. Ultimately, completing the elemental balance would reinforce the story's mythic undertones and elevate its narrative sophistication. Mythological storytelling frequently relies on symmetry and harmony to convey themes of destiny, transformation, and unity. By aligning each Huntrix member with a fundamental element, the creators establish a timeless archetypal structure that resonates across cultures. The introduction of the missing element would therefore feel both inevitable and profoundly satisfying, affirming that the narrative has been carefully designed to achieve a sense of mythic completeness. Themes of sacrifice and legacy. The emotional climax of the original film centers on sacrifice, particularly through Gu's heroic actions. His decision to give up his life is not merely a dramatic plot device, but a deeply symbolic moment that encapsulates the film's core themes of love, redemption, and selflessness. By choosing to protect Rumi and ensure the survival of the Huntrix, Gu transforms from a conflicted figure into a true hero, demonstrating that even those tied to darkness can choose the path of light. This act elevates the emotional stakes of the story, leaving a lasting impression on both the characters and the audience. Gu's sacrifice also serves as a pivotal turning point for Rumi's character development. It forces her to confront the weight of his devotion and the responsibility that comes with carrying forward his legacy. The emotional aftermath of this moment deepens her resolve, shaping her journey from uncertainty to leadership. Rather than being defined by loss alone, Rumi is empowered by it, channeling her grief into strength and purpose. This transformation reinforces the narrative's message that sacrifice can inspire growth and unity among those left behind. Furthermore, this climactic event establishes a thematic foundation for potential developments in a sequel. Stories rooted in sacrifice often create narrative symmetry, where acts of selflessness echo across generations or are mirrored by other characters. Gu's heroic decision opens the door for future emotional arcs, whether through Rumi honoring his legacy, uncovering lingering connections to his spirit, or facing situations that challenge her to make similarly profound choices. Such possibilities ensure that his sacrifice continues to resonate beyond the original film. Ultimately, the emphasis on sacrifice enriches the film's mythic and emotional depth. It aligns with timeless storytelling traditions in which heroes are defined not by their power, but by their willingness to put others before themselves. Jinu's actions embody this ideal, transforming the climax into a moment of profound emotional resonance. By centering the narrative on this theme, the film leaves audiences with a powerful message about the enduring impact of love, courage, and the sacrifices that shape destiny. Director Maggie Kang has spoken in interviews about her fascination with traditional Korean tragedies, where sacrifice and legacy play crucial roles. If Rumi's journey were to take a darker turn in a sequel, the introduction of a new Huntress could symbolize continuity and rebirth, mirroring the phoenix-like symbolism of the Vermilion Bird. This narrative progression would deepen the emotional resonance of the story. Visual and choreographic symmetry. Throughout the film, several performance sequences subtly emphasize triangular formations that appear to be missing a fourth point. In dance and staging, symmetry is essential for visual harmony. Expanding Huntrix to 4 members would allow for more dynamic and balanced choreography, aligning seamlessly with both K-pop performance standards and cinematic aesthetics. In the world of K-pop, 4-member formations are particularly effective because they create visual symmetry, enabling choreographers to design routines that feel both cohesive and versatile. With an even number of performers, formations such as squares, diamonds, and mirrored pairs become easier to execute, resulting in stage performances that are visually striking and harmoniously balanced. From a cinematic perspective, a 4-member lineup also enhances how dance sequences are captured on screen. Directors can utilize wider shots, symmetrical framing, and fluid camera movements to emphasize the unity and precision of the group. This balance allows for more engaging storytelling through movement, where each member can be highlighted without disrupting the overall composition. The addition of a 4th member opens the door to intricate partner work, layered formations, and synchronized transitions that elevate both the emotional impact and visual spectacle of performance scenes. Moreover, a larger group enables greater diversity in dance styles and character expression. Each member can bring a unique movement quality that reflects her personality and elemental symbolism, enriching the narrative through choreography. For instance, one member might embody sharp and powerful movements, while another emphasizes fluidity or grace. Introducing a 4th performer provides opportunities for contrasting dynamics, call and response sequences, and moments where the group can split into subunits before reuniting, all of which add depth and excitement to their performances. Ultimately, expanding Huntrix to 4 members would not only align with established K-pop industry standards, but also strengthen the film's visual storytelling. The enhanced symmetry, increased choreographic complexity, and richer character interactions would create performances that are both aesthetically pleasing and narratively meaningful. This evolution would make Huntrix feel more complete as a team, reinforcing their unity while delivering the high-energy, visually captivating spectacles that audiences expect from both K-pop and cinematic experiences. Such visual storytelling techniques often foreshadow future developments, making this another persuasive clue. Expansion potential for the franchise. From a production standpoint, introducing a new character opens opportunities for expanded storytelling, merchandise, and spin-offs. Animated franchises frequently evolve by adding new protagonists, allowing the narrative universe to grow while maintaining audience engagement. Fan discussions across YouTube and TikTok frequently highlight this possibility, with many theories proposing names, backstories, and abilities for the mysterious 4th Huntress. The consistency of these discussions reflects a widespread perception that Huntrix's evolution is inevitable. This character might serve as a bridge between worlds, bringing new powers and emotional depth to the team. Her introduction could also reshape the dynamics between the Huntresses and the Saja Boys, setting the stage for richer character interactions and expanded mythology. When all these clues are considered together with the mythological symbolism, musical composition, character dynamics, and industry parallels, it becomes increasingly clear that Huntrix's story may be far from complete. The way he looks at her, the way he exists beside her, suggests trust, warmth, and an emotional depth that goes far beyond what we were told to expect. What makes this even more striking is how it directly contradicts the narrative of the story, carefully built around demons. Up until that point, demons were framed as dangerous, destructive, and incapable of genuine human emotion. But here, that assumption quietly starts to fall apart, replaced by something far more complex and uncomfortable. Because if a demon can love like this, calmly and sincerely, without chaos or violence, then the line between human and demon is no longer as clear as it once seemed. It forces you to question whether the real danger was ever about what he was, or about how others chose to see him. And in that moment, the story shifts from a simple battle of good versus evil into something much deeper, something rooted in misunderstanding, fear, and the consequences of blindly accepted truth. The moment this forbidden love is discovered, everything falls apart. When Celine finds out the truth, she reacts instantly and without hesitation. She executes Rumi's father, ending his life without any sign of mercy. And after that moment, Myung disappears completely, leaving behind nothing but a story that never quite adds up. That raises a question the film never truly answers. Why do we believe that Myung is dead in the first place? The only reason anyone believes that version of events is because Celine said so, and her word was accepted without hesitation or doubt. There was no evidence shown, no moment of confirmation, no body, no farewell, just a statement that quietly became the truth everyone built around. The narrative seems carefully constructed to lead toward the arrival of a fourth member, one who will not only balance the team, but also elevate the stakes of the sequel. So now the question turns to you. Who do you think the fourth Huntrix member will be? Will she represent the Vermilion Bird and complete the mythological quartet? Could Rumi's fate pave the way for this new hero? And what secrets might still be hidden within the world of K-pop demon hunters? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's unravel this mystery together. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another revelation from the world of Huntrix.